Welcome to this week's vlog in my closet again, and I'm going to talk you through my outfit today, and then obviously some little realizations I've had, I guess, in my whole cleaning out process. So if you've been following along, and I did the whole wardrobe tour, and basically I needed to curb my fast fashion habit and obsessive purchasing, and also whittle down my wardrobe and make it a lot smaller and a lot more minimal and a lot more functional, because obviously I'm moving onto a boat and there is like zero space for clothing. So I felt like a bit of a failure this week in that in all the stuff that I've like cleared out, I had these sort of tobacco colored trousers which are really amazing. They've got like a cool waistband, cool big button. They're kind of like 70s but also very classic, and I love them a lot. When I bought them, I liked them. Anyway, they'd been put on the pile to photograph and post on Depop. And note yourself, like when I want to get rid of something, I need to photograph it immediately and post it, because I mean, in the grand scheme of things, do I need these trousers? No, I don't think so. The key for me is like when I find something that I thought I wanted to get rid of but then I'm unsure, is to wear the hell out of it. So I put these on yesterday to photograph. I love them. They went back in the cupboard, and so now I'm going to try and wear them like 2 or 3 times, like in succession, to see if like when I'm waking up every day, do I want to put these on? And then that's a very good gauge as to whether you actually want something. I think often we don't want to get rid of something but we also don't want to wear it, and then it's just like, well, if you're not going to be wearing this often, then you know, let it go. I also wanted to talk a bit about my whole outfit and just some cool realizations that I've had that I'm really enjoying, because obviously I have a lot of nerves about having a small wardrobe, and I have a lot of yeah, I'm just skeptical of the whole thing. Like, will I get bored, and like, can I actually like overcome how much I've shopped, or can I actually overcome my like habit of needing to have new stuff and have a more classic, more minimal vibe, because I still want to look fresh and new and have like my own personal take on it. I don't want to be like too minimal, too classic or anything like that. So got my linen on, so still testing out this guy, which will be part of the items that I'm gonna make to order, and I'm loving wearing this. It's still working for me, really enjoying. Today the weather's a bit overcast, so I've got my jersey draped over my shoulders, which is a look that I love, and the linen is still giving me like, yeah, a summer thing. And I think it's cool to keep those style cues, even like in the UK where it's not like the most beautiful summer or like over all the months, you can still feel summery in your look. So I'm making sure that I wear like open toe sandals, even if it's raining or even if like the weather is not the grandest, and then it still makes me feel summery. I've noticed that since my wardrobe has become super classic and is this like very minimal vibe, it's very focused and it's very organized, and then the way that it's not feeling boring is like when I have things that I absolutely can't get rid of, i.e. these orange shoes. They are the Melissa brand, so they do all the like plastic vibe shoes, and I love them so much. I can add these things like quite confidently into my wardrobe, and then they kind of go with everything, and then that's the take, or my take on it, that makes it feel like me, is that it's a little bit offbeat, a little bit quirky. And yeah, and then I've also got this bag that I'm testing out in the one I showed you in the last video, that I stiffened up and made into like a full bucket bag instead of a fold over. And now I feel like with like these 2 additions, like the look is customized and it feels original and it still feels fashion. I don't feel like I'm trying to be too classic or too minimal at all, but the basis of the pieces are not going to go out of style and I'll wear them for a really long time. Well, pants to be determined. With just a little chat. It was supposed to be about something totally different than what it's turned out to be. It's been kind of a nothing video, but it needed to be that. The boat stuff is sort of taking over. So we started, last weekend was the first weekend we went up to actually start work on her. And so that is taking precedence over everything else at the moment. And yeah, we're having so much fun, but it is very stressful, and I didn't quite think through that I was doing a Sunday upload for these videos, and I know that it's mostly probably just my family, like hi mom, Auntie Jackie, my mom-in-law, lots of love, and my 10 subscribers, but thank you guys for watching. Even though it is my little self-indulgent way of just staying connected to myself and to not feel so isolated, and so I can still speak about the sort of transition I'm going through and changes in life and how that relates to all the things that I love about fashion and to sort of my design background and what I'm going to do with that going forward. Like, I'm figuring it out, and sometimes it's just been therapeutic for me to sort of talk to a camera and put some stuff out there. So that's what that's about. The boat videos and that whole journey is sort of like just the main thing in our lives right now. So I'm keeping on doing these for whoever out there is watching. But yeah, they're going to come out on Wednesdays, and I think I'll be easier, more able to stick to that sort of time frame. Yeah, so this was going to be about my market that's happening on Saturday. I was going to add in some of the new stuff I've made. I did a dress design and some large like tote carrier bags, and it was all out of this blue fabric that I've had, and I filmed a whole bunch of stuff last week, which obviously I'm not using now because time has passed, which is probably a good thing, and I realized, what the hell was I doing? Basically, it's like this very similar train of thought to how I thought about clothing, and suddenly you maybe got like an event to go to, a wedding, a party, a dinner, and you think, oh my gosh, I've got to have something new, or oh, holy moly, what will happen? And I was thinking the exact same way about the market. I've sat with the stock that I've got of my earrings and the bags that I do, and as much as people have commented and said such lovely things about those, I still somehow feel like, oh my gosh, I'm doing a new thing, must have something new. Where in reality, I've got such a small following, none of the people that are going to appear at that market are going to have seen anything that I've done before, so it is enough. Yeah, I had no use for the other things that I was trying to make, and I spun a whole story in my head that it was being sustainable because I was using dead stock fabric, and it was just all a bunch of rubbish really, and I needed to just like take the pressure off myself and be like, you know what, go and enjoy the market with the stuff that you've got. What you've got is amazing. Like, it's still going to be new and exciting for a load of other reasons than if I had a new dress design or a new tote bag. So yeah, I'd planned to like talk you through that stuff and show you some outfits and some styling of this like whole like market theme and how I'd put together a head to toe Melissa Monroe look. But it was a lovely idea, but in reality it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So thanks for listening to me blab on as you usually do. I very much appreciate it. This camera is such a nice sounding board for all my thoughts. And watch next week. I'll film some of the markets. I'll hopefully be able to show you how that went down. And I'm so excited just to be amongst other creatives and see some people that I sort of keep in touch with on Instagram. But haven't seen in person, and it's going to be really great. And I don't know when the next one will be, so I'm hoping that I just really settle in and enjoy the day and have a great time. So I got some new stationery that arrived and some clothing cards that I'm really, really chuffed about. I did these little Melissa Monroe notepads, so just got my details on, my Instagram, my telephone number. Just because I feel like business cards are kind of like outdated, and I think this is such a lovely like alternative. I can write any sort of note I want on here. I can send it when people order stuff online, and I'm going to send them with my Depop orders as well. It's the same as a business card. I just feel like it has a more personal touch, and I don't know, there's something old school about it that I'm like really, really into. So really chuffed with those. And I even thought of being a bit hilarious and like putting my autograph on it. Like if someone asked me for a business card at the market, I can just be like, for one day, if I make it big. Might be a bit ridiculous, but anyway. And then these I'm really chuffed about as well. I wanted to come up with a solution because I'm trying to be made to order and my product range isn't necessarily like, I'm not designing collections or anything, and I don't know where this is all going to go. I did these, so it says obviously style item, so I can write there what the style and is called, and the item, what it actually is, and the composition, so what the fabrics and everything it's made out of, and then how to take care of it. And I can do it in my own handwriting, so if people feel, you know, like a sense of that it's personalized and that I care. And yeah, I could even write a note if I was sending this with an online order as well. But I just think it's a nice practical way to tackle that thing of having like a clothing label, stitching in a wash care label that someone's going to cut out because it scratches them. It sort of gets rid of all of that, and will hopefully work really well. So that's those. Really chuffed and excited to use these this weekend.